up your vision. Open up the Lord, and remember, you're an Israelite. Oh, reason of the
All right. All right. I'm back. My name is Yamsuf Arif. Along with my Isha sister Nasanya, the administrator of the show, who is not able to administrate today. She's listening in, be assured of that fact, to get her studies in, but she's in transit as I speak. And so I won't put that burden on her to try to speak while she's in travels on the highway. But be assured of the fact she's on point because she's studying right along with us because of the fact she loves the Most High with all her heart, mind, soul, and strength. And her brothers and sisters, as we said. That's why her presence is here tonight on the Real Talk for Real People Study Show, along with our friend, Brother Cartriel from New York City, a fellow elder and elder on the Council of the Nation, who loves the Most High also with all his heart, mind, soul, and strength, and his brothers and sisters as he loves himself. Because you know why? He do love himself, unlike some of us. Those that don't love themselves are easily persuaded to call each other all kind of dastardly names, mistreat, abuse, sometimes dominate, and sometimes kill. And the evidence speaks for itself. A lot of you may have listened to that beautiful song. And you may be saying, Yamsuf Arif, Brother Cartier, Nisanya, I'm not no stinking Hebrew Israelite. My enemies have subscribed that I can call myself whatever I want to be called. I can call myself a Black American. Oh, is that right? So you want to name yourself a color/landmass. And that's descriptive of who you are, right? They used to call you names, other names, but you take it upon yourself to call yourself Black, which is an insult. America, the landmass you are captured at, one of the landmass. And that's going to work for you. That shows your identity. That shows your heritage. And you're quite all right with that. Okay. All right. How's that working out for you? Not knowing who you are, what you are, and what you should be doing. And you may say, Yamsuf Arif, I'm not under no stinking covenant. Who told you that? Your enemies? Ooh. You give a lot of authority away to your enemies, right? You're not under contract with the Most High. The Most High is so willy-nilly and so fickle-minded that he offers a contract to you. You signed the contract. You validated the contract. And you're under a curse as a result of the contract. And the Most High said he's going to bring you back when everything's settled. And you're not under that contract because your enemies have told you by their translation of the Most High word that you're not under a contract with the Most High. You know, I love y'all. I love y'all. Just like that beautiful song said, no vision. And that's a sad statement of affairs, my brothers and sisters. It doesn't have to be that way. But if you elect to believe what our enemies said, what can I say? There's others of us have done so also to their demise. And certainly in your cases, I suspect the same thing will occur in your cases. Brother Katra, Sister Nasanya, and I are not bringing you this information to make you feel bad about yourself, to make you feel that the onus of responsibility are on yourselves. Just to open up your eyes, open up your vision, and see things can be better because there are solutions within the confines of that contract. And we try to help you see that contract and its totality. We also have You try to see the curses in its totality and release from those curses. It's just that simple. You see, we make everything hard, unfortunately. I'd like to thank you, students, for coming back to study with us on the Real Talk for Real People study show. As I said, if my Isha wish to speak, that's on her. But she don't have to. If she don't elect to, she can just study if she want. It's my job as her husband to look after her best interests. Keep her eyes on the road and the wheel. Okay? But she got 2 years. She can listen twice as better in these studies. So before we get started in our studies, I want Brother Cottrell and Nasanya. I'm going to open up Nasanya's mic. And she can pray and thank the Most High. Let me open up her mic. Okay. I believe I can't unmute because they choose to mute themselves. I can't open it.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Okay, there she go. There she
Praise.
go. There she go. There she go.
Yeah, we in the house.
Nasanya in the house. And I'm going to ask Brother Cottrell. Praise y'all. My Isha Nasanya, she's in the house. Brother Cottrell, ask him to open up his mic so we can give praise to the Most High and we can proceed forward in our studies. Most High, I'd like to thank you for my family, my Isha, Brother Cottrell, one of our friends, our dear friends, our brother, elder, and elder on the council. I'd like to thank the Most High for Brother Yochanan and his Isha, whom not present, but they're in our prayers. I'd like to thank the Most High for the opportunity and to bless our fellow students on the Real Talk for Real People study show. I'd like to thank the Most High for every aspect and a component of my life, because of Most High, there wouldn't be any Yom Sufar Reef. Praise the Most High and bless his holy name. So if Nasanya want to make a few remarks, it's incumbent upon her if she wants to. And Brother Cottrell after her. Nasanya, you have the mic.
All praises, all praises. I got to be quick. I concur with everything Yam Suf said. I just put my name in there. Nisanya. Hallelujah. All praise.
All praises. Thank you, Nasanya. Brother Cottrell.
Shalom, shalom, family. Bless Yah, oh my soul, and all that's within me. Bless his holy name. All praise, honor, and glory to the Holy One of Yisrael, the Elohim of our fathers, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yisrael. Thanking him for all things and everything, life, health, and strength, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, peace, even answering prayers when we call upon him. I thank Yah for loving myself because he showed me why he created me. I know my purpose. I know the purpose of my people. And I thank him for the great purpose that he's given us as a nation. So all praise to the Holy One of Yisrael for another opportunity to share his word with the world. Praise Yah and bless his holy name.
Praise Yah. Bless his holy name.
And by the way,
yes, Brother Cottrell.
I heard my sister Nasanya trying to chime in on that song.
I heard her. I had to put the wife on me. She was back.
You
she
muted
was
her. Oh Lord.
driving and singing.
Y'all, now that's my jam. That's my second jam. That's my second jam. Oh my God.
We heard you, baby. I had to put you on mute. She was singing. Your ears will lie. Open up. Go ahead, Nasanya. I put on you.
That song is there for you to sing, Mama. That song is there for you to sing.
Praise the Most High.
Praise Yah.
And my Isha was kicking them out. Praise the Most
I love that song. I love that one. That one, that's my second great one. I know that one by heart. You know what I'm saying?
Isha, we know you know it.
I'm gonna tell you something. That song is not a slow song. It's a fast song.
It is.
He just made it a slow song. This
Right.
young brother.
Right.
He turned it into a slow jam.
Yeah.
But
And
that song is meant to be upbeat.
It's on point, Brother Cottrell.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
on point.
No question. For sure.
Praise the Most High.
Praise
Thank
Yah.
you, Nasanya. Thank you, Brother Cottrell. Thank you, fellow students. We're about to proceed forth in these studies. The second book of Maccabees, chapter 14. Next week, Monday, Most High willing, we'll conclude Maccabees and we'll go back to where we left off. And that is the beginning of Queen Esther. And Brother Cottrell tonight will conclude those studies in the book of Michael, chapter 3. Wicked rulers and prophets. We certainly have them today, Brother Cottrell, by virtue of these so-called Democratic Republicans, Black Lives Matter, so on and so forth, and these so-called preachers, pastors, and so on and so forth.
The brother's name is Mika, not Mikel.
Yeah, Mika. Thank you,
Mika.
Brother Cottrell. I stand corrected, my friend. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Mika. All right, if Brother Carter and Sister Nasanya is ready to proceed forth, Yom Sufal Arif also. Praise the Most High. So let's get started. Second Maccabees chapter 14. 3 years after this, Yehudas and his men learned that Demetrius, this Greek, son of Seleucus, this Greek, had landed at the port of Tripoli in Lebanon, with a strong army and a fleet. Verse 2, and that he had occupied the country and killed Antichos, this Greek, and his tutor, the Seers, this Greek. And they're always killing one another. Well, they do that now. The Vladimir Putin against the Ukrainians, they did it in World War II, so comes as no surprise. It's just their nature. They're murderous people. Verse 3, a certain Achimus, one of ours, a former high priest, had willfully incurred defilement at the time he did dirt in the temple of the insurrection, realizing whichever way he turned, there was no security for him from our people, nor any further access to the holy altar in the temple. He did dirt in the temple. Yes, all our people ain't right people. Don't get the game twisted. In verse 4, this brother, he went to King Demetrius, this Greek, in about the year 151, and presented him with a golden crown and palm, together with the traditional olive branches from the temple. There, for that day, he let the matter rest, but he put it in front of this Greek. But for that day, he let the matter rest. He name called, denigrated, and so on and so forth. You catch my drift. Verse 5, presently he found an opportunity to further his mad plan. It's like a whole lot of us in this contemporary time have mad plans. Renegades. When Demetrius, this Greek, called him into his council and questioned him about the disposition and intention of the Yehudites, he replied, those Yehudites called themselves Hasidians, devout people of the Most High. People who were devout because a lot of our brothers and sisters had turned their back on the Most High, and these Hasidians, Hasidic, a lot of you call them today, but they're not us. These people who call themselves Hasidic Jews are not the Hasidians, whom this brother is making reference to. These were brothers and sisters, but they were more devout to the Most High in that regard, and who are led by Yehudas Maccabees, he says, are warmongering and rebels who are preventing the kingdom from finding stability. They don't want to go along to get along, so to speak. They want to be part of the great scheme of things. They want to be Greeks, Romans, whatever you call it, but they don't want to go along to get along. They want to be devout to the Elohim. They want to be devout to the procedures and protocols. So these Hasidians, not the people that we're speaking in reference today, who call themselves Hasidic Jews. In verse 7, that is why after being deprived of my heritage and dignity, that he said to me, the high priest, is my right, so to speak. I've come here now. This is what our brother said. Verse 8, first, out of genuine concern for the king's interests, you Greeks, and secondly, out of a regard for our own fellow citizens. We are in all this together, you Greeks and I. That's what he's saying. Because the irresponsible behavior of those I have mentioned, because they love the Most High, they want to stick to the plan of the Most High. That's what he's saying. They don't want to go along to get along. They don't want to be Greeks, Romans, and so on and so forth. That's what he's saying. I have mentioned, have brought no slight misery on our entire race. That's the translator. Because the Most High has not defined a system called race. The Most High has defined a system called nations. Those that are in charge of the last kingdom has defined the structure of humanity. And that's why they call it race, where they're on top. Okay? So we are considered nations by the Most High, not races, for clarification's sake. Verse 9, our brother speaking to this Greek. When your majesty had taken note of these points, may it please you to make provision for the welfare of our country and our oppressed nation. Because he's saying as a result of Yehudis Maccabeus, he want to stay in the program with the Most High. And that's oppressive. And we want to be part of, we want to be like everybody else. We want to be Greek, Romans, whatever. We want to join the gay parade. We want to be whatever. But that Yehudis, that's Hasidian, he don't want to be part of the universal nation of nations, the collective of nations. They want to be something special. They want to be Hebrew Israelites. They don't want to be black sliced American landmass where you capture that. They don't want to be the N-words. They don't want to be any other name but who they are. And they want to subscribe to what the Most High said. And they're a big problem. So as benefit the gracious benevolence you extend to all, in verse 10, for as long as Yehudis remain alive, the state would never enjoy peace. Man, I don't want to say the word I want to say, but what a crock of mess. Verse 11, no sooner had he spoken thus, the rest of the king's friends, who were hostile to Yehudis' activities, stoked Demetrius' anger. As soon as one of our brothers and a sister brought this to the attention of the Greek, and the other Greeks were round about the king's friend, they immediately became hostile to Yehudis' activity. That's what they do. That's what they did, and that's what they do. They stoked Demetrius' anger. They encouraged it. In verse 12, the latter at once selected Nicanor, then commander of the elephants, promoted him to the command of Judea, and dispatched him with instruction to dispose Judas, our brother, to kill him, get rid of him. Disperse his followers and install Alcimus, one of our brothers, as high priest, because he's been compromised. He's a collaborator of the greatest of temples. Verse 14. The Greeks and their allies, they said the foreigners in Judea, who had fled before Yehudis, flocked to join Nicanor. They all like to ride on get rid of them parade, thinking that the misfortune and troubles of the Yehudites will be to their advantage. Let's get rid of them. Let's get rid of stabilization. We don't want them thinking about the Most High. We don't want them to honor the contract with the Most High. We want them to honor our contract. Be part of the United Nations. They still do. Verse 15, when the Yehudites heard that Nicanor, this Greek, was coming, and that the foreigners, a conglomerate allies of the Greeks, were about to attack our brothers and sisters, they sprinkled dust over themselves. That's what you all do. And made supplication to him, not to the Democratic Party, not to the Roman Republican Party, not to Black Lives Matter, not to the gay rights movement, who established his people, Yah, forever, who never failed to support his own heritage by direct manifestation. Yah has never failed us. We have failed him. That's why our ancients found themselves in the boat they found themselves in universally speaking, in this contemporary time, we find ourselves in the very same boat because we failed to support the Most High in that contract. In verse 16, on their leader's order, they had once left the place where they were and confronted the enemy at the village of Dosso, a German name. Verse 17, Simeon, brother of Yehudis, engaged Nicanor, but owing to the sudden arrival of the enemy, suffered a slight reverse. Verse 18, Nicanor, however, had heard how brave Yehudis and his men were, and how resolutely they had always fought for their country. That should be your mind. Always. Don't try to defend. No, ain't no Hebrew life. Oh, whatever you say I am, whatever makes you comfortable. I'm not trying to make anybody comfortable. You shouldn't try to make anybody comfortable being who you are and supporting your own country and our countrymen and our sisters. And he did not dare allow bloodshed to decide the issue. They didn't come to blows over this matter. Okay? To decide this issue. And he said for Posodonius, this other Greek, Theodotus, this Greek, and Manethius, this Greek, to offer the Yehudite They always had a whole conglomerate of people offering us friendship, pleasures of friendship, and to accept there. They always send a contingent, don't they? But it never works out for us, but it certainly always works out for them. Verse 20, after careful consideration of his terms, verse 20, the leader communicated them to his troops. And said, since they were all clearly of one mind, they agreed to the treaty. And verse 21, a day was fixed on which the respective leaders were to meet as individuals. A litter came out from either side and seats were set up. People got ready to sit down and discuss the matter. But Yehuda simply didn't trust him. So Yehuda posted armed men in strategic positions in case a sudden treacherous move by the enemy. Yehuda was a smart brother. Just because your enemies are bringing you terms of friendship doesn't matter, because as I speak in contemporary time, they got warehouses of terms of treaties. Ask the Native Americans. They broke all of them. The leaders held their conference and reached agreement. Verse 23, Nakana, this Greek, took up residence in Jerusalem and did nothing out of place there. Indeed, he sent away the crowds that had flocked to join him because they thought he was going to put the metal to the pedal on us. So, because he saw Yehudas from his own eyes instead of from the eyes of others. And he kept Yehudas constantly with him, becoming deeply attached to him. He saw Yehudas was a man of principle who loved the Most High with all his heart, mind, soul, and strength, and his brothers and sisters as himself. And he comported himself as such. So he became drawn to him. In verse 25. And he encouraged him to marry and have children. That's how much he had the affection for Yehudas. Yehudas married and settled down and led a normal life. Yehudas didn't want to be something special. He just wanted to live a settled down farming life. And he wanted his nation in security. And he wanted his brothers and sisters in the same way. Not a brother that I got mine, I got a wife, and the nation's all right, and y'all get it how you get it. No, he wasn't like that. He married, he got him a wife, settled down, and led a normal life. But he thought about the Most High with all his heart, mind, soul, and strength. And he thought about his brothers and sisters as himself, because he valued himself, so he valued his brothers and sisters. And that simply wasn't enough for him. And you're going to see. When Achimus, our brother, saw how friendly the two men had become, he went to Demetrius, the king, with a copy of the treaty they had signed and told him that Nicanor was harboring thought against the interests of the state. Now, you see Nicanor out there, he playing fussy with Yehudas. And you know what? He ain't looking at your interests, king. He trying to put dirt on you. He not looking out for the interests of the state. And was planning that Yehudas, an enemy of the realm, should fill the next vacancy among the friends of the king. That he ain't looking out for you, King Greek. He just trying to get in where he fit in. And Yehudas, he an enemy of the state, let me remind you. And Yehudas trying to fill the next vacancy among the friends of the king. He want a spot. And that's why the corner is doing these things. The guy you sent to resolve these matters. In verse 27, the king flew into a rage, roused by the slander of this villain. What villain? The villain that told you to lie? Certainly not Yehudas, a man of integrity in her character. And he wrote to Nicanor this Greek, telling him of his strong displeasure at these agreements and ordering him immediately to send Maccabeus, send Yehuda to Antioch in chains. Forget all that trying to get along. This villain. In verse 28, when the letter reached Nicanor, this Greek, he was very much upset. For he disliked the prospect of breaking up an agreement with a man, with a man who had not done nothing wrong. A man that hadn't did anything wrong. If he loved the Most High with all his heart, mind, soul, and strength, fine. If he loved his brothers and sisters as he loved himself, fine. If he loved his nation as he ought be doing, fine. But he didn't go out to do terroristic acts on nobody. He didn't go out to be a villain against the realm of the Greeks. He just want to settle down, get married, take care of his wife, look after the nation's best interest, and love the Most High with all his heart, mind, soul, and strength. And he said this in Nakana in verse 20, done nothing wrong. 29 says, however, there was no way of opposing the king for Nakana. He waited for an opportunity to carry out the order by stratagem. So Nakana said, I can't oppose it. So I'm going to get in where I fit in. I'm going to do what I do. It ain't going to be on me. It's going to be on them. And so, truth be told, that's the way they think. That's the modus operandi. In spite of the fact, Yehudis being a man that done nothing wrong, he was being Machiavellian in his nature toward Yehudis. After he showed signs of friendship because of respect for Yehudis, he was prone to carry out the orders of the king since he couldn't oppose them. In verse 30, but Maccabees, see, y'all got to watch things. My Nasanya, she always saying some things her daddy told her. Mr. Airy, I wish I could have met my father-in-law. She tell her daddy, you stay, watch and pray. Maccabees obviously was a man that watched and prayed. Began to notice that Nakana, this Greek, was treating him more sharply, and that his manner of speaking to him was much more abrupt than it had been. And he concluded that such sharpness could in no way could have no very good motive. He therefore collected a considerable number of his followers. He didn't wait on the next selection, and got away from Nakana, this Greek. Verse 31. Nakana, the latter, realizing that the man, Yehudis, had well and truly outmaneuvered him. Why? Because he trusted the Most High, and he trusted no man. He trusted man by virtue of their actions. And they're in alignment with the way that the Most High said we all comport ourselves with him and our each other. And certainly this Greek didn't show this behavior. He came out left field toward Yehudis. And so he outmaneuvered him. And so Nakana went to the greatest and holiest of the temple when the priests were offering, our priests, the customary sacrifice and ordered them to surrender Yehudis. Verse 32. They protested on an oath that they did not know where the wanted man could be. We don't know where Yehudis is. Verse 33, he stretched out his right hand toward the temple and swore this oath. And I suspect he meant to do it. If you do not hand over Judas over to me as a prisoner, I shall raise the dwelling of Yah to the ground. I shall demolish the altar on this very spot. I shall erect a splendid temple to Dionysus, their gods. And they've erected temple to their gods already. That's why you worship them. I'm not trying to be facetious and ugly. I'm just keeping it the way it is. I'm just keeping it the way I see it. I'm just keeping that modus operandi. When they destroy our thing, they will erect a new thing. And this Dionysius was the opposite of Yah. In total, read about Dionysius, this god that he threatened to erect. Okay, read about it. Go say it yourself. Don't take Yom Suf word at it. With these words, that's why they don't want us to read Maccabees. They're so on point and so down to earth. With these words, he left them, Nakana. What did our priest do? The priest stretched out their hands to heaven, Yah, calling on him who has at all times done battle for our nation. See, a lot of y'all got the game twisted. I know a lot of you brothers and sisters, you woke up Hebrew Israelite and you think you're something special. You want to put on garments. You want to be vicious. You want to be valiant. You want to be militaristic, but you got the game twisted. The Most High ain't told you to be militaristic, but that's what you want to do. And that's not representing the Most High. That's your own thing, because your own thing is not representing looking after the best interests of the nation per se. It's not looking after the widow women. It's not looking after orphans. It's not looking after children. It's not looking after women. It's just showing up to show out and showboat. Oh, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Let's go to war. With what? Let's learn to humble yourselves and study the word of the Most High, the blueprint and plan and the covenant. The priest stretched out their hands to heaven, calling on him in verse 34, who has at all times done battle for our nation. This was their prayer. It should be ours in this contemporary time. You don't need to be marching talking about I'm a man. You don't need to be marching talking about let me vote, respect my vote. What you need to be doing is soliciting the help of the Most High, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's what you all be doing. In verse 35, oh Yah, in need of nothing. You don't need nothing. It is pleased you that the temple where you dwell should be here with us. We didn't set the temple up on our accord. The temple was set up on the accord of the Most High. That's what they're saying. In verse 36, now therefore, holy Elohim of all holiness, these priests says, preserve forever for all profanations of this house. Stop folks from blaspheming this house and cursing this house like they do what they want to do. So nearly purified. In verse 37, now a man called Rasis, like racist, racist. Nah, I'm not knocking it, brother. I'm just saying, sound like racist. One of the elders of Jerusalem. One of the elders, not the women, not the little children. One of our leaders of the nation was denounced in the Nakana decree. And here's what this man comported himself by. He was a man who loved his countrymen and stood high in their esteem. So much, and he was known as the father of the Yehudites because of his kindness. Not because of name calling, belittle, cussing and fussing and whatnot, because of his kindness to his brother. He knew we were under a curse. So it wouldn't be indicative of him to further curse and whatnot and mistreat us and don't treat the widow women right, don't treat the little orphan right, don't treat the homeless right, and just don't treat them any kind of right. He knew better. He knew protocol in our procedure. And he treated us as we ought be doing, with kindness. Praise the Most High. In verse 38, in the early days of the insurrection, he had been convicted of Yehudaism. I don't know what that is, but that's one of our translators' mistake. And he had risked both life and limb for Yehudism. I don't know what that is, but that's one of the translators' mistake. There is no such thing as Yehudism. That's a tribe name, Yehuda. So it's Yehuda, and what we worship is not Yehudism. I don't know what the hell that is. With the utmost zeal. Nakana, this Greek.
What they're trying to say, Yasuf, is the laws, the Torah,
right?
That the tribe of Judah upheld.
Exactly. That's what they're trying to say.
Like Judaism, but it's not Judaism.
They're trying to say it, but they're making a bad translation in saying it. And you're right, Brother Kaja. And thank you, brother, for sharing that with the students. And verse 39, this Greek, by way of demonstrating the enmity he had for Yehudites, sent over 500 soldiers to arrest him. This man, Razi. He hadn't did anything but love his folk, treat his folk nice. That's all they need. Reckoning that if he eliminated this man, he would be dealing them a severe. If I get rid of one of them that's treating the folks right, not name calling, abusing, and whatnot, and take care of the widow women, taking their little children, and take care of the nation. If I get rid of one of them doing the right thing, it's going, and truth be told, it's true. It will be dealing them a severe blow. Our ancients knew that. And why can't we garner that? In verse 41, when the troops were on the point of capturing the tower and were forcing the outer door and calling for fire to set the door alight, Razi, our brother, finding himself completely surrounded, fell on his sword. He tried to kill himself. In verse 42, nobly resolving to die rather than to fall into the clutches of these villains, these Greeks, Romans, and so on and so forth, and suffer outrages unworthy of his noble birth. See, instead of calling yourselves N-words, a color / landmass, and whatever word they subscribe to you to represent yourselves, and you've taken that word and tried to make it, tried to denude it and try to say, oh, it's a nice word. I call my brother that. That's my Ian. That's my Ian. Come on, my Ian. Whom your enemy has subscribed to you. Because this man understood our nation, understood the nobility of simply being a Hebrew Israelite. Because we didn't choose the Most High. The Most High chose us as his special people. And that's noble within itself. It should be honored. But when you're socially engineered in our condition, and you don't know who you are and what you are, you're prone to do such things as I made mention of. In verse 43, but in the heat of conflict, he missed his thrust, trying to kill himself. And while the troops formed in through the doorways, he ran nimbly upstairs to the parapet and manfully, that broke hard, threw himself down among the troops. He jumped out. The heck with this. In verse 44, but as they immediately drew back, our enemy, he fell into the middle of the empty space. In verse 45, still breathing, yet blazing with anger, he struggled to his feet, blood spurting in all directions. He was mortally wounded by what had transpired. And despite his terrible wound, ran right through the crowd, then making a stand on a steep rock. He didn't wear signs that Black Lives Matter. He didn't wear signs that I am a man. Y'all recognize that? Because I'm going to be a man if you let me be one. He didn't wear signs that I'm part of the Democratic Party. I'm part of Republicans. I'm part of Black Lives Matter. He already knew he was a man. He reported himself as such. He knew his lineage. He knew his heritage. He knew what he was about. And so as a result, taking a stand on the steep rock in the last verse. Although he had now lost every drop of blood, he tore out his entrails, his stomach, and taking them in both hands, flung them down on the crowd. The hell with y'all, so to speak. Calling on who? The Democratic Party? Republican Party? Black Lives Matter? Gay Rights Party? No. Calling on the master of his life, all of our lives, and spirit to give him back, to give them back to him one day. Thus he died. He didn't depend upon the Democratic Party at that time, Republican Party at that time, Black Lives Matter Party at that time, Gay Rights Movement Party at that time, if they had one. Because, you know, those Greeks were notorious for being gay, okay? He said, y'all can't do nothing for me, so to speak. He said, I'm dependent on Yah, my Elohim, to give these influence back to me one day. And thus he died. What a man of character. What a noble man that knew he was a Hebrew Israelite, that knew that he loved the Most High with all his heart, mind, soul, and strength, and knew that he loved his brothers and sisters as himself because it was reflective of how our people saw him as a kind man. A kind man not devoted by the Democratic Party, not motivated by the Republican Party, not motivated by Black Lives Matter, not motivated by the Gay Rights Movement. He was motivated by the Creator, I Elohim. Praise Yah and bless his holy name. I'm not going to ask, if Nasanya wants to make a comment, it's fine by me. If not, we're going to proceed forward and ask Brother Cartier if he wants to make a comment in that regard. And after that, Brother Cartier will proceed to the last segment of studies in the book of Micaiah, chapter 3. Praise Yah. Brother Cartier, you have the mic.
Praise Yah, no comment.
Thank you, Brother Cartier. Nasanya mic is hot. Nasanya, you have the mic. Nasanya, your mic is hot. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. I'm sorry, Nasanya.
No comment, Yum Soup. I'm almost home. So no comment.
Okay, thank you, Nasanya. My apology. Well, fellow students, Brother Cottrell is about to proceed to the last segment of study by the prophet Nicole, chapter 3. Micah. I'm sorry. Micah. Thank you, Nasanya. Thank you, Brother Cottrell. The prophet Micah, chapter 3. Wicked rulers, leaders, and prophet. Okay, brother. I said okay because I'm thinking when I said that, I was thinking about these contemporary Democratic Party, Republican Party, Black Lives Matter, preachers, pastors, and so on and so forth. Brother Cottrell, you have the mic.
All praise to the Holy One Yisrael for our great prophet, the prophet Micah, which means like unto Yah. And he's addressing our people, our leaders, where we have power in our own country, in our own land, in our own territories, before the Greeks and before the Romans. All we have to do is listen to Yah and follow his orders. But what were our leaders doing? Here's what Yah says. Then I said, listen, you leaders of the house of Yah, quote, you rulers of the house of Yisrael, should you not be responsible to know what is right? What is Yah saying? That our leaders didn't know what is right? I
Exactly.
guess. And yet you hate what is good and love what is evil. That sounds like our leaders that supposedly lead our people today. You eat the flesh of my people and strip off their skin. You break their bones into pieces like flesh for the pot, like meat in a cauldron. You're talking about our leaders. We ain't talking about the Greeks. We ain't talking about the Romans. We're talking about leaders of our own people. Then they will cry out to Yah. Okay. When our leaders get in trouble, they're going to run back to the code that Yah gave the whole nation after they done devoured our people. Yah saying, y'all crazy. But he will not answer them. He would conceal his face from them at that time because of the evil they have done. And that's exactly what happened to our kings, our priests, and all the false prophets. When those enemies came, the Assyrians and the Babylonians came, yeah, they tried to cry out to Yah. Yah said, I'm not answering y'all. You're going to suffer this punishment. And these prophets broke it down to them. They were trying to warn them before this punishment came. Thus says Yah about the prophets who lead my people astray. You got a lot of people right here talking about their prophets, they anointed. Listen, when we read the life of the prophets that we're reading about, their lives were not easy at all. Trust me. Who promised prosperity? Sounds like the leaders in the church. They preach prosperity, don't they? Creflo Dollar, TD Jake. That's what they're still doing. The same habits. When they have something to eat, but who declare war against those who put no food into their mouths. That's what happened with our ministers, the preachers of today. People are giving up their last savings so that these preachers, these so-called prophets, could buy big mansions and Lear jets while the people have no food to put on their table. Therefore, you will have night without vision and darkness without divination. So Yah's not going to give you any kind of vision, any kind of prophetic insight. You're just going to walk around blind. The sun will go down on the prophets. For them, the daytime will be black. Then the seers will be disgraced, and the diviners will be put to shame. You dealing in divination, you raising up the dead, you talking to Holy Ghosts and different spirits, you're going to be put to shame. They will all cover their lips, for there is no answer from Elohim. And when Yah decides not to answer you when you pray to him, you're in trouble. You're in deep trouble. Because if Yah ain't going to help you, there is no help for you. But as for me, I am filled with strength, says the prophet Micah, with the spirit of Yah, with justice and might, to declare to Jacob his crime and to Yisrael his sin. And trust me, you need to be filled with strength and the spirit of Yah and with the spirit of justice and might to deal with our people, Yaakov, and the crimes that we commit as a people and our sins. Listen to this, you leaders of the house of Jacob, you rulers of the house of Israel, who despise justice and pervert what is right. Again, we're talking about our own leaders, our kings, King Jeroboam, King Ahaz, King Rehoboam. What y'all doing? You're taking advantage of the people who build Zion through bloodshed. Is that what we're supposed to be doing? Building Zion through bloodshed?
No.
And Jerusalem through wickedness. This is our own people. Nobody put pressure on us. Y'all left us to our own accord, our own design. And this is what we chose to do. Her leaders accept bribes and favorable judgments. Her priests render judgments for a fee. Still doing the same thing today. Everything is about money, 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 money. Her prophets practice divinations for money, and yet they rely upon Yah. How are you going to rely upon Yah and money at the same time? It don't mix. No, you have to rely on Yah, or you're going to rely on money. You're going to rely on one, or you're going to rely on the other. And yet they rely upon Yah, saying, isn't Yah in our midst? Of course, Yah is always in our midst. And he watches both the good and the bad that we do. Yes, Yah is in our midst. Is he going to answer you when you call out to him? When you've been doing evil? Oh, no. Is he going to answer you when you've been doing righteously and you're in trouble? Oh, yes. It's like King David. No harm can come upon us in their mind. They're saying, being that Yah's with us, no harm can come upon us. But they're deluding themselves. Therefore, because of you, Zion will be plowed like a field. And that's what the Greeks and the Romans and the Assyrians and the Babylonians did. Exactly that. They plowed Zion like a field. Jerusalem will be reduced to a heap of rubble. And that's exactly what the Assyrians and the Babylonians and the Greeks and the Romans did. And the Temple Mount to a height overgrown with thickets, because the temple's been destroyed by who? The Babylonians, Assyrians, and later on the Greeks and the Romans. So our leaders, our forefathers, our kings, our prophets, our priests, our judges, our princes, they did what they wanted to do, and now we suffer the consequences. They didn't really suffer the consequences while they were in power, but they sure didn't really have concern about us, their offspring. So we have to bring it back. We have to close the gap. We have to do what's right and pleasing in Yah's eyesight, so that Yah's mercy will be on Jacob's children, on the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, so that he will fulfill his promises and his covenant that he made with them, because they remain loyal, faithful, and dedicated to Yah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Unfortunately, our leaders, our priests, our judges, they did not. So here we are, and we have an opportunity to repair the breach. And we thank Yah for that opportunity. Praise Yah.
Praise Yah. Thank you, Brother Cottrell. It's self-explanatory. If you study the Most High Word, as you all be doing, as the Most High have instructed us to do, these things come quite simplistic to you. I'm not gonna, that's my remark on it. And as far as Nasanya is concerned, she just made it back home. I'm not going to put that onus on her, but she's been studying. So I'm not going to, in all fairity, I'm not going to put that on her to make any comments and remarks in this regard. But I will say, she showed her love for the Most High by virtue of trying to get these studies in while she was in transit. And she's very appreciated by the Most High. I suspect now she's certainly appreciated by her husband, her Isho, Yamsuf, and certainly by this study show. That being said, Sister Nasanya, certainly. Brother Cottrell, certainly. Yamsuf certainly have done our due diligence tonight, our moral obligation toward our nation, toward our Elohim. But it's incumbent upon individuals of the nation to do something for themselves as far as these studies are concerned. That is to meditate on the Most High Word, study the Most High Word, seek after the Most High Word. Wisdom says this, She says, seek it out, and you will find me. But individually, the Most High, in your regard, his word will work in spite of you or irregardless of you. But it will be much more beneficial for you if you activate the plan. But first, you must study the plan. It's just that simple. Meditate on the plan. Trust in the plan. The Most High word, in a nutshell, it will work for you individually if you work it. Praise the Most High and bless his holy name. I'm going to ask Nasanya, do she have any closing remarks and or comments? Then Brother Cottrell. Brother Cottrell will close us out, and we love you. Nasanya, your mic is hot.
Shalom, shalom, family. Only comment I have for tonight is we got to get serious. We got to be serious about our souls. We got to be serious about obeying y'all's word. We got to get serious because it's nothing to really play with. All praise.
And you're right, Esau. We have to get serious, and it's nothing to play with. Praise the Most High. Brother Cottrell.
All praise to the Holy One of Yisrael, again, for another great night of study in Yah's word. Third chapter of the book of Micah lets us know the severity of being a leader in the nation of Israel. It didn't make mention of the elders as part of that leadership, but trust me, Yah's watching the elders, the princes, the judges, and everybody that wants to be a leader under the same scrutiny. So we got a lot of people who want to be leaders in Israel, but it's a position that is not to be taken lightly. Whether you're an elder or a prince or priest or judge, it doesn't matter. Yah puts the onus on the leaders. And praise Yah that he gives us insight and heads up on what our responsibility is as leaders of the nation of Israel, and this time as elders. So we better be on the ball because y'all ain't playing with us. We love y'all. May the Most High bless us and keep us. Shalom and good night.
When you wake up in the morning and it's raining in your heart, and you feel like you can't make it.
Be quiet, Cottrell.
Sing along, brother. Sing along.
Praise Yah. Praise Yah.
All your situation don't seem to work out right. Open up your vision.
You're not black. You're not American.
Open up the
You're Hebrew Israel. Praise Yah.
and remember who you are. You're an Israelite. And you'll always be here. Remember the covenant that's passed down from year to year. Oh, oh, oh.
Hey, Cottrell. Cottrell,